MV3 Traders Futures Trade Radio is brought to you by The Ultimate Trader's Guide, your one-stop shop for the most valuable income-producing information on the internet. Go to ultimatetradersguide.net to learn more. Link in the description below. Alright, how we doing? Hope everybody enjoyed their long weekend. So, all my pre-market awareness and everything has been posted to the Discord and all that. So today's session is going to be kind of more of a screen share than an analysis, where I do a lot of, talking about what I see. We're just going to flow with it. I will say things at certain points, but it's going to be more of a screen share to make sure my focus is, stay focused to what I'm supposed to be doing. Nice little push here at the open of the session low. Alright, so let's get into this and just enjoy the music. Strong inventory drop there. Nice inventory response off of 1320. Had a quick supply response there off of 1330, starting to push that supply higher. quick little, we had a quick supply lift. Now we're dropping the inventory hard once again. That resets the board for me. Got a couple scalps out of that. So one thing that I'm aware of is we are trading, we're still inside the inventory of Thursday's inventory. From a daily perspective. Relatively strong inventory response off of 996. Volatile open here in the A period. It would say we in this low participation kind of sentiment. Just looking at the order flow, just looking at how it's flowing and how the ticks are coming in. They just painted a picture for a look below and fail. Right now, my rotation is going to be at 1330. Nice little supply pause here at off of automation, off of A1. This area of supply, I'm looking forward to see if this breaks down or does it continue to hold.
Yeah.
Going back to inventory. Let's see if we drop the inventory one more time. Just not seeing one of my things didn't. Supposed to be completely out of a position, but I'm still holding one. Gotta have a technical issue. There's a lot of movement, but it's not moving, not getting the movement in that much space. So this volatility is happening in a tight range. Or in tight ranges. Enough of a range so I can, grab some scalps out of it. Quick lift of the supply, and we came right back to that inventory. On that one, I respected the range and just took what it gave. I'm actually probably going to dial it back on the aggression here, inside of this range. Hovering around A1. Picture has been painted to where we're kind of getting some bullish excitement for NQ. We should create some stops to build some liquidity pools here. We're playing both sides actually. Right now they got this painted in a markup phase. Actually kind of price action that I'm seeing right now is kind of similar to Thursdays. We had that sell off at the open, and now we got this range. Got this shop where they're conducting business. time ago, but it's actually saw something like this Thursday as well. But let's see if we continue to drop the inventory. And the low from Thursday. I can't see it on this chart because the way I got my charts laid out. But we still got a few points to get to Thursday's low. Should be around 950, 950-ish. Inventory response off of 976. And a little bit of quick inventory at 12, below 12,998. Now we're lifting that with a little bit with some momentum. How far can we go? How high can we go at automation or A1 up there at 996? Quick supply response off of A1. And mechanical to our automation at about 10 o'clock before, 10 o'clock, 10 minutes before B period. Making our way back down to inventory. We did got that volume dropping off right there above 980. Yeah, some inventory interest right there, right above 982, but we're trying to push through that. We could very well push through that. there's a push through. It's not really an inventory level that I would, give too much attention to, but we can look at that extending the inventory range. Got another inventory response at that 976 area. A stronger inventory response. They're not done with it yet though. If we push below that, we should see some follow through. We'll want to push and hold and see that follow through. If that happens. So they, I can kind of saying this as they kind of use Thursday's action to paint the picture to give us a similar type of structure as Thursday. So the expectations could be to have that drop of inventory before we start running the supply, start taking prices higher. They can use that for liquidity, which they're, gives them more inventory to keep doing what they need to do. And of course, we're talking about wholesale specifically. That inventory dropped down to 968. Got that play zone. We'll mark that off as. Now I'm looking for a new position or a new trigger. Had my trigger at that 990 area. That is no longer in play. Off of that last tick candle or tick bar, in terms of rotations and everything, the board is being completely set. But looks like we got a supply response here at 980. Let's see how that turns out. Still lifting the supply. To the A1 high. I said AI. Had a supply response off of the A1 high. Breaking those, starting to come into that previous supply area, their previous supply zone. Slowly pushing through it. Slowly pushing through previous supply. But our main supply zone before was above 990. From the 990 to 990, let's say 995 range. This is awareness to self. I am in a B-force break. As we got about 3.5 minutes before our B period transition. technically, I actually could be done for the day. I mean, I had a nice little open off that inventory run. With how volatile it was, I decided to just, respect the inventory and responses and take some scalps. Of course, in hindsight, I could have had some bigger runners, but look what the market was definitely was giving more of. So now we got an official inventory response, supply response off of 996 once again. That's been a popular area so far. Not really showing up in the volume, but I do remember saying that number more than once. Coming back into A1. A little bit of negotiating at A1. And got some early volatility there. We still got 2 minutes before B period. Let's see how this translates into the next couple of minutes. Actually, it's a good time to talk about this. I actually played around with trading ES Thursday. So I traded ES during the A period, and then I switched over to NQ during B period for a little bit. I didn't do too much trading with NQ, but ES definitely does trade slower. In terms of how I trade, is kind of makes the setups easier to take. But the same token is a little too slow for me. And from me actually participating in it once again for myself, because I traded ES before years ago, and I've kind of dabbled around, played around with it, but I really traded in ES. Maybe I know I did some in 2018, and I might have did a little bit in 2019, 2020. And I've always, realized how much slower it traded. Of course, it's definitely not new information. But now with this lens that I have now, I can see more of the difference. And I really have a deeper understanding of why I hear the sentiment that I hear from ES traders. So I'm only saying all that to say is, you don't really know until you have experienced it yourself. So when you hear people talk about certain things and they give their perspective and their opinion on stuff, what I've come to confirm for myself anyway, for myself at least, is to take whatever I hear that I haven't experienced for myself at face value. I'm not saying that they're lying or anything like that. I'm just okay, that's your perspective, that's how you see it, that's your opinion. But also understanding that there's a lot of other variables outside of how someone else, even the way that I see something myself. So I don't really know what it means to me until I actually get involved with it for myself. And so in terms of trading, I can hear what people talk about with Forex and equities and crypto and all the stuff, right? And the different, futures contracts and all that. And that can be good for them, but when I actually go in and participate in it for myself, I can have a completely different experience. Now, it doesn't mean one person is right and the other's wrong. It just means that we are our own person, right? And we have our own perspective. So at the end of the day, it's not really about what anyone else says something is. And I say this all the time, right? I'm not saying anything new here. This is under the theme of great trades come from within. Doesn't matter what other people have as an opinion about something. Your opinion, your perspective matters the most for you. And when you can just use other people's opinions to kind of open your perspective and your lens to see more of the picture. And we can also share your opinion to help others, kind of see another side of it, whatever that is, right? So we transitioned into B period without anything interesting. Pretty much we had a little spike like right before B period, but nothing other than that. Taking our inventory back to that 970 area. Now we're back in the supply at around 988. Hovering A1. Right now we're holding this shop. Turned this shop into a mall. Extend it, open that range up. Yeah, and I'm good to be done for the day, honestly. Grabbed about 19 points in one of the accounts is the biggest. It's actually started out and I kind of messed up at the beginning, and one of my accounts that I was supposed to be trading in live, I was actually trading in sim. Switched that over, but I didn't miss out. I didn't leave too much money on the table with that mistake. Also, I did spend some time doing some repetition, getting some reps in over the weekend. And I'm noticing that importance of reps, something that I, could definitely use some improvement on. But this, even though I had a little bit of hiccups this morning, I had a couple hiccups this morning. In terms of me executing my strategy, that went pretty fluently. So repetitions, getting your reps in is important. You can do that, through some back testing and simulated testing, and like the way that the method. So what I did is the method that I used to look for and respond off of triggers. I just practiced that over and over this weekend from different days, different charts. And this morning I made, it was kind of, we're getting closer to it being like second nature. And this is where the importance of sticking to one strategy comes in. All right, you want to test the waters just to see what works best for you and what's not really your vibe. But once you find that thing, you want to stick to it so that you can actually, become more fluent at how you need to participate or execute within that thing. If you find something that works for you in any kind of way, but you still playing around with other stuff, and I'm saying this from personal experience, you'll have a hard time to continue executing with the thing that works. Because one, you may forget exactly how you are supposed to be executing on it, because you never built that muscle, right? It never became like just a thing that you do. And I like to reference basketball a lot, to where the more shots you take with the right form, when you're in a game situation, You won't need to think about, well, do I have my elbow tucked? You won't need to think about your form. It just happened naturally. So the same thing applies with everything, right? The more you do something, the better you're going to get at it. The less you have to actually use brain power to do it efficiently. Now you still want to maintain awareness, of course, so that you know if you can be aware when things are a little bit off. When you shot that ball and you didn't really have the exact form, so you kind of bring your awareness back to that, back into the zone that you're supposed to be in. And then you start back working off of muscle memory, right? But the more you repeat something, the more reps you get in, the easier that's going to be. And you'll be, though, the easier the awareness to it will be. Not just doing it, not just executing on it, but the easier the awareness will be. You'll be able to notice the little nuances when you're not doing something exactly the way that you're supposed to be doing it. So we're still just hanging around in this shop, hovering A1, getting more action above A1, but we did just drop the supply there back to 998. We had a supply lift up to 996, brought it back to 988 for a quicker supply response, and now we're making our way maybe back to 996. We're gonna hold that 998 zone supply for a minute. You haven't settled on the supply, on this 998 supply as of yet. Now we're lifting the supply back to 996. I mean 988 is what I was supposed to be saying. With the supply response as soon as we hit 996. This thing is still trading mechanically. Nice mechanical price action. This low participation. You would think that we would have a little bit of excitement for a Monday where the market was closed on Friday. But the participation is still low. The market has been really interesting from that lens over the last couple of months. From a micro scale, from this tick perspective, that was an interesting print for this 996 supply. The expectation would be that we head back to some sort of inventory, with A1 sitting around 985 as a first destination. Actually did have some reaction there at 990. We saw another inventory response, so maybe we lifted the inventory to 990. And I would really be paying attention to say above 997, 998. Got a little volume gap there. By the way this is printing, some momentum would be expected above that area. It'd be interesting to see how this plays out with this low participation. Spiked above it. It really haven't really taken off as of yet. Back to the whole number of 13,000. I'm starting to pick up a little bit of momentum. If I was the person who was trying to short that 996 supply zone, as soon as it broke above that little gap space that I just mentioned, I would have been out, me personally, because that's not what I would have wanted as a, if I was short in that area. Just by the way that supply area was built, and then those, the last little print that we got right before the break. And that doesn't mean that we're gonna, just keep going to the moon and we don't ever come back. We could actually come back and retest that area, pick up some more inventory in that area. We could absolutely come back inside of that previous shop. We got A1 right now at 1992, 992. Tripping. From that push, well, no, I'm trying to see if I can't really count a rotation from that, so I'm just looking for a new supply response to be able to start to look for a new rotation point. That supply broke down pretty quickly. There we go. Now we got 1310. As a point of awareness. So that would make, off of that little move right there, that would make 1330 as a rotation point if all things remain the same. We do have some automation there that we're getting that supply response off of. Right now, right below 1310. Maybe push through that automation. Now we're coming back. Let's see if we get some inventory off of it now.
Yeah.
We are negotiating right here at that automation point at 1310. I'm still tripping off the fact that I called 992, 1992. Gotta move past that energy. the strength of the supply, I'll be looking at 1316 to 1920 area to see the kind of judge the strength of it, of the supply in this space. Still looking at, as of now, 1330 as a rotation point. Even though we do have this markup phase is on this micro scale, even on the 3-minute, this bullish print, as most people would see it. But the way the NQ trade, I wouldn't confirm it in the near term until 1330, unless I get another rotation point or another point to reset the rotation count. So, and on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close up the shop for the day. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Hope everybody have a good rest of your session and a good rest of your week. And until the next time, trade it easy.